OpenAI just released GPT-5.2, and this isn't a routine update. This model quietly changes how AI works, who it's for, and where the industry is going next. In this video, I'll explain what GPT-5.2 actually is, why it was released now, and why this moment matters more than most people realize. We've seen big AI launches before: GPT-3, GPT-4, and the early GPT-5 releases all promise smarter models. But GPT-5.2 isn't just about being smarter. It signals a shift in OpenAI's strategy, from experimental AI to AI built for real, professional work at scale. Let's break down exactly what changed. GPT-5.2 is the latest evolution of OpenAI's flagship model family, and it's designed around one central idea: reliability over novelty. Instead of chasing flashy demos, OpenAI focused on improving how the model performs in long, complex, real-world tasks. That includes sustained reasoning over long documents, multi-step problem-solving without losing context, and more consistent outputs in professional settings like coding, analysis, and planning. In other words, GPT-5.2 is less about "look what AI can do," and more about "can AI actually replace parts of knowledge work?" That distinction matters. The timing of GPT-5.2 is not accidental. Behind the scenes, OpenAI has been facing intense competition, especially from Google's Gemini models and other large-scale AI systems racing toward enterprise adoption. Reports indicate OpenAI accelerated development internally, what some described as a code red moment. But this wasn't panic, it was recognition. The AI race has entered a new phase, not about who demos better, but who delivers dependable intelligence at scale. GPT-5.2 is OpenAI's answer to that phase. One of the biggest complaints about earlier AI models wasn't intelligence, it was inconsistency. Sometimes the model was brilliant, other times it missed obvious steps or contradicted itself. GPT-5.2 significantly reduces that problem. The model is better at sticking to instructions, maintaining logical structure across long outputs, and avoiding hallucinations in professional contexts. This makes it far more useful for tasks like writing production-level code, reviewing contracts or reports, and managing multi-step workflows. This is subtle progress, but subtle progress is what turns AI from a tool into infrastructure. GPT-5.2 clearly reflects a strategic shift: AI as a workplace engine. OpenAI is no longer optimizing primarily for casual conversation or novelty. Instead, the model is tuned for business productivity, developer workflows, and long-running tasks that mirror real jobs. This includes better performance in coding environments, data analysis, and planning and execution tasks. The message is clear. OpenAI wants GPT-5.2 to be trusted, not just tested. For developers, GPT-5.2 is a meaningful step forward. The model shows clear improvements in code comprehension across large code bases, debugging logic rather than just syntax, and following architectural constraints. This reduces the need for constant correction and makes AI-assisted development more viable at scale. Importantly, GPT-5.2 is also more predictable, which is critical if you're building products on top of it. Unpredictable AI breaks systems. Predictable AI builds them. For businesses, GPT-5.2 isn't about replacing everyone overnight. It's about compressing time. Tasks that used to take hours now take minutes. Tasks that required teams now require oversight. This affects consulting, legal research, finance analysis, content strategy, and internal documentation. The real impact isn't job loss, it's job transformation. People who know how to work with models like GPT-5.2 will outperform those who don't. GPT-5.2 raises the baseline. It forces competitors to match not just intelligence, but reliability, safety, and deployment readiness. The AI race is no longer about headlines, it's about who enterprises trust, who developers build on, and who governments and institutions adopt. GPT-5.2 strengthens OpenAI's position as a platform, not just a model provider. GPT 5.2 may not look revolutionary on the surface, but that's exactly why it is. True technological shifts don't always feel dramatic, they feel stable. GPT 5.2 represents AI growing up, moving from experimentation to execution, from impressive demos to dependable systems. And once AI becomes dependable, it becomes unavoidable. GPT 5.2 isn't the end of the AI story, but it's a turning point. If you want to stay ahead of where AI is actually going, this is the moment to pay attention. What do you think matters more, smarter AI or more reliable AI? Let me know in the comments.